Okay, so y'all, I make a lot of wreaths and I never really do one just showing y'all the base. So we're really just gonna make um, a deco mesh wreath base. The way I normally do it, this is what I call the Jordan method. So we have mesh on the inner ring and mesh on the outer rings. This ring right here that I'm pointing to is the inner ring. And then this ring back here is the outer ring. So your inner ring's always on the inside and your outer ring's always on the outside. So I'm going to use my 21-inch mesh. I get this from Deco Exchange. And then I need 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh. One roll is going to be really just for the outer ring, and then the other one is to be our filler. And this is a work wreath form. I like using these better than the flat wreath forms because they are elevated. There's that little elevation right there on that wreath frame, and it's able to give me a top and a bottom. So it makes my wreaths really, really poofy, and that's what I like. I like really nice, big wreaths, big, fat, and full wreaths. That's what I like to call them. Okay, so we're gonna get our 21-inch mesh, and y'all, I just throw it down to the ground. That's all I do, basic, just like that. And I bring in my edges. So what I'm doing is kind of folding those in onto each other, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a kind of like a ruffle, and that's gonna be our start. So I'm just choosing a tie. Doesn't matter which one, you can choose the front, the top, bottom, left, right, whatever, because you're just gonna put this mesh on the inner ring. So just taking my tie, and I chose this black wreath frame just so y'all can see like what I'm doing. Scrunching up my mesh just like this, and I'm gonna measure out 10 inches. 10 inches on my cutting mat. So there's our 10 inches. And I want to come in and I want to place that in the next tie. And I'm just getting my work wreath frame, my work ties, and twisting that. Again, going around that inner ring. So this is the inner ring that we're working on. 10 inches. So we're going to do 10 inches all the way around the inner ring, and then we're going to stop. Okay? Okay, so we've gotten to our last 2 ties. So this is one tie and this is the other tie. What I want to do is I want to get another 10-inch poof. And I'm going to untwist that first tie that we used. Untwist it. Set my little poof in there. Twist it back up. And now I'm just going to come out maybe about 2 or 3 inches. And I'm just going to snip that using my scissors. So that's what we have so far. 10-inch poofs using 21-inch mesh. So we use the 21-inch mesh on the inner ring only. Just on the inner ring. We don't use the 21-inch mesh on the outer ring. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And next I'm going to cut 10 ruffles at 30 inches. And these are going to be the ruffles for the outer ring. Now, I am making this an all solid burlap base, but y'all, the color, the mixing of colors is endless. Okay, so like I said, I need 10 cuts at 30 inches. Okay, so naturally it kind of wants to curl on itself. I'm going to come in once, twice. And then I'm just going to run it up against, I normally just run it up against my stomach like you just saw. And I create my little ruffle. I put the curls down. If you want to put the curls up, you can. It really doesn't matter. It's just going to make this base nice and full. So opening up that twist tie that I have right here, opening that up on that outer ring. So this is the start of the outer ring, and just twisting that in. Okay, and we're going to do that to all 10 ties. Normally on my work wreath frames, there's a total of 18 ties, 10 on the outer ring and 8 on the inner ring. So if you wanted to, like I said, you could bring in colors. You could bring in multiple colors. You can bring two, like blue and red for patriotic, or red and white for Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to do on the ruffles, on the outer ring. That's where I like to bring in a lot of my color. So just making my ruffles. I've also found that 30 inches is about the perfect size for a ruffle on the outer ring. If you do anything smaller, it becomes skimpy, and if you do anything bigger, it just becomes too full. Okay, so we've added, and look how nice and full that wreath looks. So next, I need 8 cuts of the burlap mesh at 18 inches. Okay, so 18-inch cuts for the inner ring. Those are the ruffles we're doing on the inner ring. The 18-inch ruffles always go on the inner ring, and they don't go on the outer ring. So we're cutting these at 18 inches. So my ruffles are 18 inches. And that's going to be for the inner ring. Once again, it kind of wants to curl up on itself, so all I'm just doing is just bringing that in, running it down the middle, and making what looks like a butterfly. Just like that. And now I'm just going to untwist my twist ties. This is the part that I do. I've always untwisted my twist ties and added my mesh in like that. Making my ruffle. So like I said, untwisting my ties, then twisting it back in. And I think, to me, untwisting my ties offers a little bit more security. So even when I do my ribbon tails, I untwist my ties and then I add my ribbon tail and then twist it back in. But yeah, this is our Deco mesh base. So look how pretty that is. And I want to get a bow, and this is something, if you wanted to, you could leave it all year long and you could switch out the bows to it. Look how pretty that would look if you just wanted to add in that bow, just like that.